That's fine. So let's start out to our resident, bookkeeper. What happened last time?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Be very detailed.
Yeah, chronicler.
Was Taryn not there for that one?
No.
Oh!
For the boss fight? No,
I
no,
forgot
she
about
wasn't.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I had my
Okay.
emergency.
You killed a fell being, and then another one was birthed into existence. Obviously, come on, that's the logic here. You gotta keep the numbers consistent.
We started off in that tunnel. Okay, so we started in the tunnel of the messenger. I believe it was just called the courier. And from there, we traveled through the noble district a bit, circumventing some large not armies. You can say armies. Masses of people walking around and potential
Forces.
Yeah, forces is a good word. We avoided a number of them by going into the sewer, which was filled with like this weird, almost spider web kind of design stuff going on. And nothing bad happened from there. We popped out.
Surprisingly.
Shockingly, considering hindsight. We popped out. Took a sewer plate, remember that. And we went to go find a general. Somebody that's important in their army that's like notably a power. Partially so we could kick their ass and partially so we could get information from them. When we found him, he was just sitting in the middle of an area, and it was just very much a situation of, this is way too easy, this is definitely a trap. We're still gonna try and kick his ass. We took no preparation to negate the trap, we just accepted that it was a trap.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, that's our style. Anyways.
Yep. Moving on.
So, we go to fight him. Throws a sewer plate at him. Missed. Shockingly. Honestly, shockingly.
We don't need to go into too much detail here.
Fight starts.
We do have a time limit.
Assassins show up. Murder a few people. Murder one person. Irrelevant. Fight happens. We, very quickly turn the general guy, before he could do anything, back to normal. Kill the assassins. Curing, thank you. And then from there, he told us, hey, go to this place. There's an evil thing there. And we're like, okay. So we jump into a giant pit. And inside the giant pit is a fucking giant-ass worm in darkness.
And shit was crazy. Rock on the far right.
Yeah.
Of the map.
It's hard to read the word. It's a dark blue circle.
Near the stone gate.
Yeah.
Where the...
I jumped and y'all climbed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marshall jumps.
But yes. We fought a giant worm. Nearly died. Giant death laser shot at us.
Times.
Yes, multiple times. Giant death laser.
We can't see him alive, though.
And then... as we were escaping, the Seekers and Slayers that were with us went a different path. They took down a giant rock monster thing. Just completely fucked it up. And we all teleported out of there after remembered last second to kill Justin Dillamore. Not Justin Dillamore, I wish it was that.
Shoot,
Chris,
yeah,
what's his name?
So easy.
Aiden
Thank you, Aiden Hughes. I knew it started with an A.
Hughes, that is his name.
Yeah, he ran up and was like, oh shit, wait, I go and kill Aiden Hughes! And grabbed a black book from his leg. And we teleported out, and I believe we left off teleporting out.
It's a black box.
Black box, thank you. I can't remember if it was a box or a book.
What was the... I don't have access to my notes, but what was the dude's name? The, champion who we cured?
Oh, shit.
I want to say Verdig, but I know that was one of the Seekers, but it was something close to that.
Berilius? Wait.
Yes, the god himself. Yes.
I was wondering why that name sounded familiar, and then I said it out loud. I was like,
Scroll. Wait, why am I scrolling?
He was shined not by him that day. If you just pull up my sheet, it's in my notes.
Oh, it's in your okay.
Under allies.
Is Anella in the list of enemies?
Tevig.
That's
Tevig?
what it was. I knew it was like Verdig.
Yeah, I could feel it.
Organic.
It's a two-syllable names. You have a decent number of two-syllable names.
It's almost like there's a theme to this, you know? There's a thematic logic to the naming of certain areas.
Yeah, I know.
Thinking emoji.
That's crazy. Moving on. But, so with their general friend cured and then probably maybe put to death, who knows, you guys went and fought the Void Worm, the weird creature, which is has a mouth that blinks and turns into an eyeball, and then closes, and then turns into a mouth. Really weird. Shot death lasers, lots of chances of death, especially when I'm rolling 12d10s, albeit very shittily, if I recall correctly.
They're really bad.
Still salty about that. And yeah, during the entire boss fight, the Void Worm's pet project, this giant infested rock stone monstrosity, was trying to punch its way in. And then, if given enough time, you guys have had to deal with it on Two Fronts, maybe. Who knows? But the worm died, got killed by you guys. Large part due to Marshall getting 2 crits in the very first 2 attacks at the very beginning of combat.
Beautiful.
Yep. And with the Void Worm's death, basically the entire city went, not rabid, that implies they're fighting, but just went raging, but also stuck. Like, they're catatonic. And that allowed the Seekers to take down that rock monster and then make their way to you guys. And you guys, after taking out Aid and Hughes, teleported out of there. And that's exactly where we start, my friends.
Woohoo.
We start with you guys having... Well, let me grab the music, because that song is a lot shorter than I remember. So let me just grab some music.
With us being practically dead and teleporting to safety, quote unquote.
Yeah, what's your guys' HP amounts right now? I'm curious.
6!
Ah, okay.
I still have 34.
I think
you had a lot of healing done to you.
Yeah, I have a question, because it looked like my spell slots hadn't really been touched.
That's
I
mostly
only
accurate.
used like 4 or 5 of them, but I may have reset them.
I think you only used like maybe 2 actual spells.
Yeah, because when you guys were fighting the Void Worm, it was pitch darkness, and I don't think most of...
Yeah,
I think most of you had a form of light, but it was a limited range of light, so I'm not sure.
Most of us had dark vision.
Yeah.
I used
I
didn't.
Garth-Mod
It was
mass
fucking
like cure wounds.
Okay, yep. That checks out with my spell slots.
I have
Yeah.
28 health.
28. Man,
That was
one more laser. If I
Yo,
recharge
that being
that...
said, it was boggling my mind, and I finally figured out like what was the effective strategy for fighting him, and it was all of us literally open the middle up and get behind one of the segments of the worm. That way, in order to fire, it could only hit 1 or 2 of us, and would have to shoot through itself.
It's immune to its own effects, though, is the problem.
Yes, but it's still
limited
frivolous.
capability of
Yeah, it's still better, yeah.
basically spread out.
But the catch to that is I can teleport around.
That's
so
it.
that was sort of the point.
Oh, Marshall got
But
8
anyways.
one time. Maybe twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get swallowed. So,
Another
you
thing,
guys are teleport. What's up?
Yes, sir. Well, just to Taryn, one other thing is that Aldrich had a bit of a heart-stopping moment during that fight, which is going to inform some of the things I do during the session.
Yes.
So,
Character development.
so that's why. Just keeping so it doesn't come back.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
So, getting into it. You guys teleporting away from the roaring and shouts and ruckus of the now fading. They're not dying. The infection is just fading. Dovros, you guys are teleported. This song was a lot more different than I recall, and I think it's
It's a little
because it's an
intense.
extended version. Give me a second.
Hold up.
This is what happens when you pick the extended version. But don't worry, I have something I've listened to, and you guys have as well.
I
Join.
just high-key spilt my water bottle all over my bed.
As long as it's only water.
Yeah, I just was
No, it's
like
straight
just
vodka.
holding it upside down because I was trying to see if a sticker would fit on it, and then I realized it was open.
My dude.
Ow.
Alright.
I can't criticize because I think I would do similar. Not the same, but similar.
There we go. The last Agni Kai. So, you guys are teleported back to the Seeker Slayer perimeter line outside of Devros. You're inside a tent. Again, it goes from near deafening noise to hearing that same noise off in the distance. You hear outside this tent a bunch of running, the clanging of a sword, armor, blades, metals, etc. Basically, call to action in arms. And the single Slayer that was, posted in this tent, having sat down on a chair, just immediately jumps to, not attention, but jumps to action and begins reaching for his blade when he fully comprehends what he's saying. And then he, puts his hand away from his blade, or for his blade grip, rather. Evelyn, not squandering a single moment, just points to him and points out the tent flaps. Get me the captains now. He does a salute and immediately sprints out. She turns her attention to you guys. With, it seems like a semi-awkward expression on her face, but a smile.
I embrace Danaway the instant we're safe, and I don't let go.
You can feel her heartbeat just... You might have this is heart attack approaching levels. If this was Darkest Dungeon, her stress is 99 out of 100.
Nerd.
Or I suppose 199.
I was about to say, you peasant, you did not just do that.
199. I forget.
Chedamir just leans on the nearest object.
Post.
Sure. Just anything that could support her weight for a second. It's just
There is a now vacant chair left by the Slayer.
convenient.
Nevi does immediately seeing you plop down onto that chair, grab one of his syringes and injects it into you.
Well,
She just mumbles a thank you.
so we currently have time, right?
You currently have time.
I mean, and by that I'm also kind of asking the people around me. Well then, everybody, gather around for a bit.
Alright, so recover 16 HP, Jedimir.
Yay, I'm not on the verge of death.
And feel free to roll me that sweet, sweet prayer.
How do I always forget my spellcasting modifier? It's 5. I have a 20 in wisdom.
Nah, 17.
Why the f-
Oof.
Oof.
Oof. When the rolls are below the mod.
Oof.
You can cast it again.
I was about to ask if I have a...
Oh, it's 10 minutes to cast. Wait.
Yeah, do I have something that can let me reroll that?
Did we use a coin of Karam last time?
I can
I don't
almost guarantee, honestly.
I need a marker on my sheet that's just to click whether or not it's heads up or not.
I
could
know
add a
we
class
did
resource.
That,
I
the one
also
from
have-
the left blade.
I also have my birthday favors.
You do, but you're not. You guys are in a safe spot, so I personally wouldn't recommend you using that stuff in the aftermath of stuff. But you can roll it, I don't mind.
Just re-roll it, you said?
Yeah, just reroll it. Those are pretty not great. If you had 2 1s, I will give you advantage on it. Okay, you didn't.
It's something.
2
better.
I'm gonna say I don't have inspiration any longer because I just
Fair
want to be
enough.
fair.
All right, everyone, take inspiration. Okay, so some time passes, and Seema, you begin laying out a healing and soothing prayer. It shouldn't fiddle with this. Well, toss that over there. During that time, you all, Seekers included, look yourselves over, seeing anyone's not necessarily missing any bits. That's not the way to say it, but if you're all intact, any wounds get cleaned up, stuff like that. Gear gets checked specifically by the Seekers.
Yeah. Everybody who has a mint cantrip,
Light the smokes, class. Not really. Eventually, that singular Slayer comes back, and you can tell he's been sprinting around. They're waiting for you. Evelyn gives a nod. Thank you. She turns to all of you. I believe you all have people to see to. And she gestures to her and Henri. We have reports to make.
The fun part, paperwork.
She gives a mischievous smile. We'll see.
But the best time is here, Lieutenant. The low bow. Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for yours. She does a low bow. Or a short bow, rather. With that, Henri, Evelyn, and the
fellow.
The Seeker teams depart, again, put in their reports and comments, etc. One of them does stay behind. It is your guys' deathly friend Glaz. And he basically stops on the way out. And then he just looks at you guys, and you guys do know where to go, right?
Look over to the rest of the group like, do we? I
Captain, I'm gonna lead them. Follow me.
Can do.
Yep.
So you guys not re-emerge, I guess firstly emerge from the teleportation tent. Patented trademark, crash down. Teleportation tent.
TM.
And very obvious from the sound, even more obvious now they're actually seeing it all go down. The entire camp is in a hustle and bustle. And the walls that are normally lines are getting unmanned as time goes on. Gear is getting distributed out. Stuff like that. But Glaz, leading you all, cuts a swath through all of it.
I would have
And
dropped stone form as we exited the tent.
gotcha. As you guys are progressing through the perimeter camp, you guys catch more than a few eyes. Not in the usual look as the vagrant sense of things, but in the in awe sense.
Like what? They didn't expect us to be coming back.
There is that, but also the fact that you guys just simply did what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not in the sense of in awe as in you're watching a dead man come back to life, which is an experience you guys are a bit familiar with, but more so in the sense of you did it. Holy shit, they did it. More than a couple of times, some Seekers, even a couple Slayers, want to stop, but Glaz waves them off and tells them to get back to their duties. And they promptly do so. Glaz leads you guys off to it's relatively familiar. You guys have walked the steps like once. Maybe twice. A familiar segment of the camp. And over to it's more established than a tent. It's like oh god, what are they called? Oh god,
Big Tent.
It's not called a Big Tent. It's like those like mobile structures that like some schools have and such.
Oh,
You ever seen one of those?
like the trailers, basically.
Yeah, like a portables.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
It's like a mobile home, but kind of...
Larger building, stuff like
I
that.
think
Like
it
a
is
saf-
called a portable unit.
Yeah.
Like a safari tent?
No, it's like an actual. It's not like tent flap or anything. Actual walls.
It's
I think
similar
we
to
get the
like...
point.
Anyone I've seen is like similar to like a mobile home, kind of. Where
Yeah.
it's-
So someone give some imagery. But yeah, it's something a bit akin to that. It's very clearly temporary and hastily set up. And you guys seeing standing outside it, two familiar seekers who are just sort of standing there on the ready, not necessarily at attention.
Which is... Oh.
Yeah, it's fenced. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, more like the bottom one. I like that one. Although I don't think this one has like the long ramp that leads to the door. I think it just has 2 doors.
Flashback to middle school health.
Oh, it's health class. Health class always was evicted to the parking lot.
That's where we always had the troubled kids.
Troubled kids.
Yeah.
The ones that have good backstories, you mean?
The ones that would just bust out a knife for fun and threaten kids for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, I did the first part, not the second
Don't
part.
you miss those all-day lockdowns?
I've never had an all-day lockdown. Partial day lockdown. Anyways, you guys see there Seekers, Virtus, and Nevin. I just sneezed right now. The 2 Seekers you sent back.
Ah, right.
Mm-hmm. Were they
March
just, like,
was a sudden realization. Oh, she's gonna be very mad.
Hearing that as you guys approach, you can see Nevin smirk underneath his quarantine mask. I assure you, she already is. And he just comes up to you guys, meeting you halfway. But welcome back, though. And he gives you all a look. And his gaze lingers on Glass. Not gonna lie, I thought you guys would... well, I certainly didn't think I'd see all of you again.
Glad to subvert expectations. And she does like the warrior arm grip thing. Whatever that's called. I think it's just called the warrior grip.
Warrior
I'll
grip.
be honest. Neither did I there for a moment. It's good to be intact.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys should have taken more backup, Virtus remarks. Virtus, shut up. Virtus is just placating hands. He's leaned up against the doorway. Did you all make it back? Virtus asks.
Out of game. Everyone came back, right? Like all of the Seekers, like nobody died. Somebody died, but we brought him back.
A couple people died. Got brought back.
Yeah, some people died, but they got resurrected.
Okay.
Or
I had
revived.
Yes, but I think that Seema's going to answer that because as the healer.
As
We
a
all made it
designated.
back. Deaths notwithstanding, you know, when you have some diamonds, those are a little bit more temporary.
Yeah, fair enough. But, what do you guys want to see? Virtus casts a thumb over his shoulder at the door. Well, one of them's totally crazy, I'm being honest, and at this point, I'm not sure which one to label for that. You're mostly sane friends?
Something like it.
Accurate enough.
I think that mostly is a bit overstating it. Somewhat.
We can debate, what's the word, semantics later. We should probably just talk to him.
I'm impressed you know that word, Chedemir.
I heard it once, and I think I used it in the right context.
You did, I'm impressed.
Yes.
You guys' conversation going on. Nevin goes back to his post, and the two of them grab one side, their own corresponding side of the door, and open up for you. And it's more akin to like a barracks than anything, but it's a barracks that no one used, so it's pretty sparse. It's could have been converted to a different type of living space. And you see there the people that you sent back. You see your potentially insane friend.
He's totally sane. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You see Delvet, our cripple boy. To his credit, though, he is walking without aid.
Good.
Good for him. See Owen, who immediately gets a joy of relief and happiness seeing all of you return. Particularly that of his, I guess, still sort of his bodyguard, his uncle, and his girlfriend. And for but a brief flicker, you see a similar look of relief flash across Tala's face before promptly getting replaced by one of annoyance.
I give Owen one of those lift off the ground hug, full 10 seconds before I drop him down.
He's like patting you on the back the whole time. You're not sure if that's like
Hug over.
Yeah, hug over or a hug over tap, or I'm just so happy you're back. You know, sort of hearty tap. Maybe both.
Don't
Maybe
matter.
transitions from one into the other. Both is good. Both. But yeah, you guys are, you know, not sent into it rather, but allowed into the room, and the doors get closed behind you. Gua is departing. He's got a report of his own to make.
You did good.
It's been silent for a while. No one really wanting to speak. No words really need to get said. Happiness, relief, and joy are obvious.
Is there like a... I doubt it, but is there like a fire chimney or anything around here?
There's a hearth place.
Hearth place, okay. Jennifer's gonna chill by that because she's probably fucking...
It's not an actual portable. I'm just saying it's done in that sort of very rudimentary style.
Okay.
There's no wheels on this bitch.
Yeah,
It's a very temporary building.
Jennifer's gonna chill over there.
I go up to where Seema is and I ask her, Seema, do you have means to send messages over long distances? Do you still have that access to that? I need your help with something.
I do. Let me... Wow, it'd be great if I could access my character sheet, except for now my volume decided that it needs to stay up. Come on.
I think you're fine.
It's like literally the widget is blocking my access. It's so weird.
You want just your volume, right? And nothing else.
There we go. I got it. It's literally, I turned it up a little bit because Fred's a little quiet for me, and then it was like, yes, now I stay here.
I will stay here forever.
I'll hold out the ring that Evelyn tossed me and ask, could you cast it into this?
I shall.
The ring of spell storing. She might want that back, by the way.
Probably.
Yes.
I don't think you decide it when you're putting it into the ring, right?
No, you just do
it just stores
do everything for the spell.
Yeah. So you don't need to decide the message now.
Okay.
No.
Oh, so I'm storing it. I see.
You're storing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The casting will come, or the message will come from whoever's using the ring at the time.
Yes, I misunderstood what we were doing for a second.
That's good.
You're driving downtown to your storage box, putting it in.
The story gets spelled. The spell gets stored.
The story gets spelled.
How much caffeine have you had today?
STORE. Not enough, apparently.
Apparently.
Owen immediately begins, not loudly, but he does begin asking a multitude of questions, both to the room as well as to some specific people, stuff like that. I can only go over a couple because I don't particularly have the time to go over every question Owen asks, but it's stuff like, what happened? What did you see? Are you hurt? How did you get hurt?
That last one is a stupid question.
How did you get hurt? You're like last like. How did you get hurt? Stuff like that.
What was it? What's the percentage? Because I know it's in 4E. At like what point you start being declared bloodied and like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think that changes from GM to GM, but I
think we
personally
all
go
hit
with like around half.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all a little bit like a little nosebleed.
Is there a tier below bloodied?
Very bloodied.
Chedamir is very bloodied, or was at least.
There you go.
Oh, Seema just has dried blood on her, but is no longer actively bleeding. No more active bleeding.
Before I got that healing from Seema, I would have probably been drenched.
Drenched in blood.
You are just a blood cleric.
I am a walking blood clot.
Gosh.
Meanwhile, Marshall's over here just like, man, y'all look like crap.
Takes a bite of food. Takes a bite of broccoli.
Eventually, Tala just comes over to Owen and puts a hand on his lower arm because he's too tall for her. Owen, I think they need time to rest. Oh, right. Sorry.
I'll gladly fill in your information. Downside, it's me.
I mean, any account's a good one.
Yeah, sure.
I'll offer mine
Cheddamir's not gonna
once I've had a chance to catch my breath.
Let us get them some food. They look like they've had a very long day. Just so you know, it's nighttime right now, so...
Yeah, literally like the entire day was
everything's lit by torchlight. Yeah, so it's dark out right now, so don't worry. Some time passes and Tala, Owen, Delvit. I don't think Andreas would do it because he's crazy. Go grab you guys some food from the mess. It's just a simple stew. Nothing particularly extravagant about it, but it's very filling. And it's a nice warm comfort versus the cold of the void which you guys faced against.
I eat half my bowl and lose my appetite.
Fair enough. But yeah.
Not because of the taste of the food, but because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently
Chedamir is going to eat the other half.
She is not a person that believes in wasting food.
I'm like, sure, go ahead.
Coin, affectionate doggo, does come up and show a few Seema, leaning her head on your lap, nuzzling against you.
I'm gonna feed her scraps when nobody is looking, and Skull tries to feed scraps because I'm like, stop, she'll start begging.
Anytime that happens, she immediately starts begging. Hear her whine.
I'm trying to train her.
Edgar just appears.
Edgar, you think he's outside, and this is confirmed when he flies in through a window and lands on a perch above the hearth. And then he flutters over to you. Ah!
Hi. How's it been?
Ah!
I turn on the earring.
Is that really him, or is that just the worms out of the mouth thing?
Just like a little finger dangle in front of his mouth.
I turn on the earring and ask.
What you ask is it really you?
Basically. It's like, you, or you worms?
I forgot which voice.
Slightly posh. Slightly posh.
Slightly posh, okay.
A little cockney there, but you got
a little cockney. You're like cockney and posh, I personally think. That's a lie. You can't be both. You can't. That's a lie.
They are literally opposite.
Literally opposite. So you turn on the earring and ask him, is it really you? To everyone else to hear, Mom! To you, Chedamir, exactly that. That's good sound effects.
Bless.
To you, Chedamir, you hear, yes.
Good. That's good to hear.
It's not me and that weird worm freak.
Have you seen that guy around?
I have not.
Okay. I don't know if that's reassuring or concerning. What I do know is, that's for another time.
Are there seekers in the room while this is happening?
Nope.
Okay.
There's Nevin and Vertus outside if you guys ever need any. They make that clear to you as you guys enter.
Needing to know if I need to explain while Chedamir's making call noises.
I mean, Andreas is in the room and he's just like blinking at this and like, what the fuck am I? You can tell he already thinks he might have a problem with himself. This is not helping him. He's just like staring wide at Chedamir talking to the bird in equivalent bird talk.
I just like point at the earring like magic shit. It's a thing.
Sure, yeah.
I don't normally speak bird.
Okay, no, I'm not judging. He turns away and going to someone else.
I'm too tired to give a shit. Hi, Edgar. Have some stew.
Once the plates start looking a little bit empty, I'll look to
poison them.
Oh shit!
No, I look to Noxalis, the crew, us, and I say, come the morning, there is, once we had a chance to rest, catch our breaths, there's something I need your help with. But we'll deal with that when the sun comes up. And then I message Chedamir. I'm gonna need that box, don't lose it.
Chedamir just nods.
Oh yeah, the mention of box.
It was quite...
It was a message.
Marshall pulls out the black box he found off Eden.
What's that?
That's not in response to you guys, that's just remembering.
Yeah, I figured.
You pull out the little black box. Yeah, it's not like made of wood or anything. It seems like more of like a leathery with ridges built into it, so it sort of is relatively bendable. You shouldn't snap it in half bendable, but it could curve a bit. It's fitting for where it was tucked away, which is on the guy's thigh.
That would trigger my sense of safety. I would try and, without opening it, I would like to see if it's either trapped or locked. Or both.
Marshall's the one holding it. Maybe he just wants to open it up and it's up to you.
It depends on Marshall if he hands it to me. Obviously.
I mean, do you think he's going to think of that on his own? Because I don't.
I would then. I would ask Marshall if I can have a look.
Oh yes, it was on Aiden before I chopped its head off. Here you go.
You have his head the way he's tucked away in your bag or whatever. Or put it in its own sack, like Witcher style.
I put the box aside just a little bit.
Right, roll me investigation. First roll today. Let's go.
Get a 1. 19.
Why do you want him to get a 1? That's fucked up. That's really mean. Because of that, he gets a 1. I can't believe it. I can't believe you do that to him. Wow.
I can't believe you've done this.
Thanks, Garth.
I can't believe you've done this. It's like the Dave Chappelle meme where the guy shoots the guy on the couch. I can't believe you've done this. Anyways.
In reality, I'm working with the Void Lord trying to fuck us all over. Anyways.
I really shit job of it. You're still alive. Anyways. So you investigate it. It doesn't seem to be trapped. You're a bit... not confused, but you're not really trying to approach how one even traps a leather, slightly wood ridge, internal bound parcel, I guess is what this is. But, magic can work in mysterious ways, so you check for any, glyphs or runes or anything of the sort. And luckily it's, not trapped in physical or magical means. Seemingly.
I announce that.
I mean, I don't think he would have a trapped box on his person.
I mean,
call me paranoid. You wouldn't be wrong.
Open it when it's next to the fire, so if something goes off, you could toss it in.
No, step back. I open it with mage hand.
Works.
You mage hand it open. It opens just fine. No traps.
No traps.
Alright, starting a 1 minute countdown for when the fireball explodes. No,
oh shit.
Chedamir, before you touch any of the content, do you have a means of detecting poison?
Garth is gonna check the spell list.
Here's the thing. I think...
No.
Let me see. What do I have?
I mean, like, she could attempt to use alchemist tools to see if there's any, like, residue or powder or anything that could be toxic.
I'd allow it.
Okay.
Roll me your alchemist tools.
And... Hey!
Well,
there's nothing on it. Nothing on it except the ichor of the void, which is its own sort of brand of gross, but
not
luckily it's not actively corrupting anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was about to ask. Trying to fish for an Arcana check / religion, but
it has that on it, but again, like it's It's similar to the rest of Dove Rose is catatonic, so it's relatively dormant.
Yes.
Not sterile, that's not the right word.
I think Marshall's just in the background looking at the three of these nerds, like, examine it from every angle. Like, it's the box.
Marshall, we all just barely lived tonight. Pardon us if we're a bit cautious.
Yeah, I've gotten cursed enough in the past 36 hours. I'm not trying to get cursed anymore.
There was a vindictive man in Northern Sylphwall who once poisoned the pages of a naughty book. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of men who regretted certain actions, shall we say.
That's a clever way to go about it, as fucked up as that is.
You see over in the background Aldrich, Nevi tugging at Owen's shoulder, and you hear the whisper, "What does he mean by that?" Owen going red-faced and looking away. I don't worry about it. I don't know. Nothing to worry about, though. And Dana gets a smirk hearing that.
Noticing that, I'll just pull Danaway aside and tell her, I think we need to have a conversation with those two.
I think we specifically don't need to have a conversation with them. She says, like, chuckling to herself.
This is how Dragonborns are.
I shrug.
That was awful. I love it.
Thank you, emoji.
Yeah.
I mean, they exist in this universe.
They do exist in this universe.
5e's very big on them.
Would she give birth to an egg?
I'm thinking.
I think
Don't worry about this. Moving on, you weirdos. So, who examines the actual contents of the bag rather than the bag itself?
Since Aldrich is chatting with his girlfriend, Chedamir's gonna skim through it.
Okay, so you dump out or pull out carefully. I don't know. Pull out carefully.
Careful enough.
You
did.
Haha. You take out the contents of the black parcel, and you find in it a journal, a leather-bound journal, tied up. With the string around the outer. I want to say knob. It's not a knob. Whatever, you know what I mean. Button. That's what button. Clasp. Yeah.
Clasp is good.
Clasp is good. You find a peculiar-looking copper coin. And I say peculiar-looking because, one, why the hell is a copper coin in the first place? Two, is because as you examine it, it's not a provincial standard copper coin. It's not a provincial mint.
I would get Aldrich's attention because he's the guy that knows money. Because Chadmer would just be like, "This is a weird coin. I know nothing else." Money person.
I'll have a look.
Roll me your background information.
Is it from the elf place or
You don't know.
It's weird. I don't know.
Can I check it out? I've traveled around a bit.
You've traveled around a bit, but if you know this knowledge, it will be very interesting and telling about Seema. But I will allow it. Roll me your background.
Get a 20, please get a 20. I need this.
The DC is 18, I'll declare that. Nope.
Well, no.
Yeah, you don't know what this is, and I honestly think that's better and fitting. But yeah, you don't know what it is.
No fucking sense.
Background is that wisdom? Wisdom.
It is for me. I think that
it changes from person to person.
Yeah.
Because I have
I think for all of you it's wisdom, because none of you are bookish people.
Okay. No, that checks out, because I was just making sure that my modifier was correct. Good.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. It's a very peculiar... Comparing it versus a normal provincial coin, it seems a bit thicker as well, like the width of the actual coin.
You think the
thickness.
Seekers
The way a
right
Canadian
now,
penny is
maybe?
better than an American penny.
yes, it's like that. It's to me, coins in this world are more equivalent to like a $50.
Have you described what the design on it is yet?
No, it's No, there's not much on it. There's no inscribing. It's like provincial mints. It'll actually engrave the year it was made and such.
Yeah.
You know, sort of keep tabs on the circulation. Relatively, as you can in this world.
Mm.
This doesn't have any such year, and the only thing it has are, well, obviously it has two faces. So I'll just grab one face on the other. On one face is this very interesting looking sort of. Not sigildry, that implies artistry. This sort of emblem. I could try here.
Doodle time.
Doodle time. I'll draw it just on the map, on the top left. It will be very shitty because I'm drawing this with a mouse.
I demand an artistic masterpiece right now.
Okay, well here.
You have a tablet.
You want artistic? I do have a tablet. You want artistic masterpiece? One artistic masterpiece. I got you.
Boom.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do it on GM layer first. Okay, so
These
just
are top left, right?
You know what they say, Crash? It's just one syllable away from masterpiece.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that's what they say, but you know,
They all. Who are they exactly, Fred?
yeah,
Every art student ever.
Elder
By
beings.
that logic, you could say artistic's one letter away from autistic.
Autistic.
Hmm?
All right, here's. All right, you guys want? All right, so give me a second here.
I love Crash is grumpy as he's going, "You little masterpiece, I'll give you a masterpiece."
You want some art? I'll give you art.
No, fuck this shit. I give up. But I did. I would deliver you a master. There you go.
Nah.
Ah,
Fantastic.
I drew that myself.
Of course.
wow, this coin is so moving for such a strange reason. Something in
Were the
eyes.
eyebrows intentional or are they
That's
not?
crazy. But to put it simply, on one side it's this sort of emblem where it's two swords that, you know, it's like a dueling stance sort of style. You know, when you duel, you touch the tips. Moving on.
Coin
It's two
drop.
dueling swords who are held very close together, to the point where it's a bit of an awkward look. These swords are a bit awkward looking because their crossguards are very long, and it's sort of like a chevron, or it's like triangle polygon. I don't fucking know. I draw like this. I will draw something
Mhm.
on the top left. So
You can just draw one sword and say it's mirrored. Oh, okay, so it makes like a V.
yeah, the crossguards are touching as well.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's like
And
they're
the pointy
holding
bits are the
hands
bits
and
that are
dancing.
touching, right?
No, the bits are. So this bottom bit is like the tip of the sword. You know?
Mhm.
Stick them with the pointy bit, in the words of Jon Snow and Arya
Yeah,
Stark.
that's what I was asking.
And then these are the top point is the handle, or not the handle,
Yes.
but the cross guard. So yeah, that's what one side of the coin looks like. Just these two very interesting looking blades. The other side is a minimalist version, so there's no pupil or anything, of an eye on the diagonal with like a some sort of scar going through it.
Huh.
Sorry, my brain was floating away there for a second. What did you say was on the other side?
It's the minimalist interpretation of an eye, so there's no pupil or anything there. So it's just the general shape of, you know,
There's like an
oval,
almond
like,
shape.
eye. Yeah, like an almond shape with stuff like that of an eye, and then a scar that cuts through it on the diagonal,
Okay.
or the eye's on the diagonal and the scar is on the vertical.
Okay.
Chedomir, whatever that coin might mean, you probably will find the answer in that bound journal.
Speaking of which,
Do you
Chedomir's
open
just
the
gonna
journal?
put Chedomir's gonna put the coin in her bag of holding, and then go to journal, just to make sure that we know where it's in the future. Yes, I look in the journal.
Okay. You undo the not rope, that implies it's way too, the string, that's the word. The string that holds it to the clasp. Just and open it up. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Are you serious?
I am not.
I'm just gonna do that. Take 2 off that because I probably wouldn't have my shield.
No, you're probably not. Okay. Well, let me just find it here. Let's see. Where is it? Come on.
We checked everything but the journal itself.
I have my
I told you that.
alphabeticals.
Naughty book, I told you.
We'll see if Chedimir's alive to have a witty response. I don't think it'll kill her.
Where?
Seema's resurrect, if so. I think we still have a diamond or 2 left.
That would be the most embarrassing way to. You survive a void worm, but a book kills you.
Nerd.
I feel like at that point you should all just be like, pass.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Illegal.
I think Anella would be mad at me if I didn't resurrect you.
You know,
She knows my
fair.
name,
Would
but,
that mean she wouldn't want to come with us, though?
Meanwhile, Marshall's planning
She knows
Chedimir's
my
assassination.
Alright, take 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Ouchie!
Hefty.
And make me a Constitution save.
It's
I'm
a
glad
good
I
thing
took
you got
the thing now.
hit points from Yuma earlier.
And I'm proficient with
so-
con saves now. Or else that would have been like a 13.
Alright, so it's the equivalent of magic missile, of void energy. As 3 of these things just they don't curve or anything, they don't do this cool wispy magic-y shit like from Neverwinter Nights 2. No, they just straight up shoot out like a fucking shotgun blast into your chest and face. And luckily you're not blinded by it. You don't have the blind curse afflicted upon you.
A very fitting curse, considering. Yeah, I feel like Chedimir's just kind of like knocked back for a second.
Yeah, you drop the book in fate due to this sudden voidic shotgun blast. And to those of you that view the book that she was holding, it is blank.
We forgot to check the book for fucking traps. Ow.
After I told you by poisoned pages, I mean...
Then you should have. You know what? I'm tired. And why the fuck is the book blank?
Can I...
Does somebody have
I guess
like a
I want to
bully
try to detect magic to see if it's like illusion magic or if it has actually been erased.
That's up to you.
I'm gonna do that though. I'm going to see
It's
my
a
rubs
ritual
her
cast.
hands and...
Anybody have a thing that's like, hey, I understand languages or something?
I do have tongues, but not enabled. Not prepared, that is.
I mean, I thought everyone had tongues.
It's a spell. Man.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I do have a tongue, but I don't have it prepared.
I hate that you made that joke so much.
Chedimir's tired. She's not fully thinking.
Yeah, whatever. Do you just cast it or do you... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 minutes passes, and it is magic. Whatever contents that were there are still there.
Okay.
You'll be happy to know.
Do I have to spell magic? I don't have to spell magic. What?
I will say that you...
magic caster.
I will say that Dispel Magic would probably undo the magic affecting the text.
I thought you just
Well,
make
yeah,
it
you
back.
yourself-
We'll come
you
back
yourself can-
tomorrow.
You yourself can read it right now.
I
With
can?
Detect Magic on. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to read it.
Yeah, so to everyone else, it just looks like a blank page. To you, you actually see this magical
Do I have...
writing.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
spell-
So yeah, I'm gonna read aloud what it says. Oh shit, I might cast a spell on all of us, but
Just commit.
very beginning of horror.
This is
movie. This is just the beginning of Cabin in the Woods. Now.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Just reading the
You all get
Necronomicon.
flung outward at 120 miles per hour into the love and die. But,
Fuck gravity!
it is essentially, well, I think it's pretty obvious what it was before, but this is just confirming it. This is Aiden Hughes' journal.
Mhm.
His diary, if you guys want to put it like that.
Dear diary, today John looked at me in class. I think he might have a crush on me.
That's exactly
That's
the first page. How'd you know? It's crazy. It doesn't go into your diary, but it does have month and day sort of
Moniker?
timestamps. And there's a lot in this journal. As you yourself page through it, Seema, it looks like this journal is about to be done, like finished. Like a few hundred pages of it. So, reading through it in detail might take some time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't really give you an account of every single day of the past few hundred days, disregarding holidays.
I'm gonna turn to like the most recent pages. What was the last thing he wrote in it?
Yeah, so these most recent pages date back a couple weeks ago. And it dates back. These are just the way you note this as you are reading it out loud. The way Aiden Hughes writes is not very descriptive or detailed. He's not the sort of person that writes about everything he did on a day. It's not like, oh, in the morning I did this, and then after that I did this, then I hung out with this. No, he's very cut and dry with what. It's more like a highlights reel, I suppose, of a day, if that. Like a single day will take up a single page, and this is not a very large journal.
Top 5 things that happened.
Top 5 things that happened today. You won't believe number 3.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the last one he did was, again, a couple weeks ago.